I don't know. I mean, I have Twitch pulled up, and I don't see anything, but...
Yep, wait, here we go.
Oh, there it goes.
Yay! Yep, wait, here we go.
Oh, there it goes.
Someone turn their stuff down.
It's not me.
It's not me.
Why is it always...
Is there someone behind me?
I don't know.
Oh, I think we found out who it is there. All right. Hey, welcome to Plausible Deniability. Don't worry, we won't tell anyone you were here.
Oh my goodness.
We can't see you, so... Are you sure? Did you?
So.
Did you though? Okay, I just got the Twitch notification.
We're live! I can't get my hat
live.
straight. What is up with that? There we go.
Alright, let me mute all my sounds. So, I mentioned this earlier. I might get a phone call in a minute. If I do, we might hear what Johnny does at work on this Twitch stream.
Listen, Johnny's like Chandler. Nobody knows what he does.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in the world, Kiri, America's favorite poppy.
Yay!
All right. How's it going?
I mean, it's okay.
Brooke and I are very excited to have you as guest numero uno.
It's true.
It's true. Hey, how'd you get that?
You're actually... I made it myself.
You made
He
it
took
yourself.
a picture of the sticker.
I was going to do that, and then time happened. I hate time. And I have multiple monitors over here, so it's funny because I actually look over here every time I'm looking at Brooke, because I don't know how it's going to play out on Twitch, but maybe it works.
It'll be fine.
It kind of works. I'll do this when I'm looking at Kiri. Anyway, someone was talking, and then I started. That never happens.
Yes, you have a job? I guess it's how you buy your books for D&D and stuff?
I have a job, yes. It's not as exciting as being a teacher and shaping the minds of the future of America. It's not that glamorous. I program Raspberry Pis and handle wireless communications for an automation company. It's a pretty big deal. I like it. I get to play with things and tech to tech and stuff.
So you just said all of those words, but I still don't know it.
I
said the word pie.
I think it's supposed to be that he's actually like a spy, and he gives like that mumbo-jumbo line of...
He's the reason that they've called you about your car's extended warranty.
Next week, I'm going to have another job that I do and just change it up every week. I wish I had your phone numbers. I would totally be calling you right now. So it is. It's not mysterious. No, that's really what I do. This week. Next week, ask me again.
Okay.
Who knows? Yeah. So both of you are English teachers, right?
Yeah.
But with a little side plate of mythology. Is that right?
Yeah.
Between the two of you?
I have freshman and sophomore regular English. I actually have regular sophomores, and I have pre-AP freshmen. And then I also have my mythology class that I really enjoy. I split mythology up into technically 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
So that mythology 1 is first semester, mythology 2 is second semester, mythology 1 is Greek and Roman, and we really do a nice deep dive on all of those. Those are the ones that are most likely to show up in books and movies and that kind of stuff. And so when they can get those allusions, it helps. And then second semester, I let them pick. And they do like a interest survey, and we do world mythology. So we always start with Egypt, and we always end with Norse, but they kind of pick everything in the middle. So we do Japan frequently. They love Japan. China is also quite popular. Mesoamerica is very popular as well. I have a Hindu unit. They didn't want to do Hinduism this year. Celt, they wanted to do Celt instead. That was the big one that we did that was this year.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle the Celtic names? Like,
well, actually,
you Google them. I Google them, and I try to write them out phonetically, and then if it's a name that doesn't come up very often, I just get it wrong. The Mesoamerican names are also really hard. India's names are also really hard. Good news is Egypt is pretty easy, and the thing is with, I'm sure you can understand Brooke a little bit, as language people, we have, I took a linguistics class in college, so I can once you kind of get your feet into a language, you can kind of make a good guess as to what the words will sound like. But yeah, we talk about Siobhan and Cuchulainn and all of those funny names that they're like, there's too many H's in that word has too many H's.
Earlier, when you were talking about all the classes you teach and dipping into, you said a bunch of words and I didn't understand any of them.
Oh, okay. You're funny.
See what I did there?
Raspberry Pi.
Raspberry Pi. So
you construct machines to make stuff, and we try to program young people.
Oh God, that's such a great analogy. That's true. I try to program automation to do the right thing, and perfect. Yes, I'm responding to our chat. The name change didn't happen because I don't have access to the Twitch, so I'm letting them know. Yeah, failed. Yeah, so I guess I'm just letting you know now. Yeah, failed to change the name for plausible deniability reasons. Now, when someone says, "Well, Johnny and Brooke did that thing, and then Carrie was there," it's like,
I'm gonna be straight up. I have not read Ravenloft.
That was the Ash and Michael show. It even said so on the screen. That's totally where I'm going to go with that.
Totally.
Plausible deniability. That's okay because we're not going to talk about that. That's what Tuesdays are for. Tuesdays right now. I wonder. I'm not going show versus show. I'm just curious. What are they going to be talking about 6 months? Is there that much content in that book? Is there that much inspiration and seeds planted for it?
They've got the Feywild book coming out.
Right, so they're going to switch books every time, yeah.
I mean, they also might do, let's talk about 5th edition versus 4th, or let's talk about Vampire the Masquerade, or, I think they're just going to... I know it's A&M Talk D&D, but it should be A&M Talk TTRPGs.
Yep. So speaking of other TTRPGs, like Vampire and such, Carrie, what else have you dove into?
Nothing. I've only been playing D&D for about 2 years now, I guess. Maybe 2.5.
So we prick your finger and nothing but Dungeons and Dragons spell out. Awesome.
It's cool.
I ended up getting into it through College Humor and their Dimension 20 show, which I absolutely love. And then I watched all of their first season and was just super into it. And I was like, this looks really rad. I don't know what I thought D&D was, but I didn't think it was this. Yeah. And I feel like I could have a lot of fun with this. And so it was actually really hard for me as an introvert because I don't know anybody that plays. So I had to find strangers and go to a neutral location and hope for the best and not get killed. So my very, very first group, I think I only went to 2 sessions because we just weren't vibing. And then my next group, we did that, we had some conflict of scheduling and stuff like that, but some of those guys I'm still playing with in my regular game. Because I only have 2 games going, well, technically 3 games going right now. I have Red Dirt, I've got my regular Saturday night game, and then I have the holiday specials if you count it as a separate thing.
The holiday special.
That counts. I'm going to flex in a minute. Brooke, have you heard of any other games besides Dungeons and Dragons?
Which version of Dungeons and Dragons would you like to talk about, young man?
I say that because I know Brooke plays a few other things. He's played around a little bit.
Like everybody, it was the old school D&D, and then all of that. But at the risk, I know that it depends on where you came in, what edition you came into, right? I was one of those folks who was just abomination and chaos about 4th edition. I was so, I can't believe you're ruining my childhood. I was bad about it. So I switched and went to the 3.75, version, which was Pathfinder, and still have a Pathfinder game running as well. Even now we're now into 5th edition. So that Gamma World. Do you remember Gamma World with Star Frontiers?
Mm-hmm.
Tried a little bit of GURPS. I loved GURPS, but it was if you think like character creation in old school D&D takes a while, like GURPS character creation, you can do anything you want, but it takes so long.
Mm-hmm.
Generic universal role-playing system, that's GURPS, Carrie. So.
Have you ever played Traveler?
I don't play things, but I know what they are.
Have you played Traveler?
I was like, I don't need to mansplain anything. I'll just shut up. So, Traveler I have not played.
You can die in character creation during Traveler. No, you literally can die during character creation in Traveler. Because there's so much you can give your character, and there's it's a balance, but you can end up reducing yourself down to nothing before you finish making your character sheet.
Yeah. Is that the one where, as you go around, different people get to adjust your stats based on? Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Maybe you're thinking of something else.
I may be thinking of something else. I don't know what, but maybe it's Paranoia. I played a couple games of Paranoia, tons of fun. That was back in the college days, and then I've played one of the superhero games, either DC or Marvel, but again, those were a long time ago. So currently, right now, it's just D&D and Pathfinder.
Right on. So I've got Saturday night. It's coming to a close. Is a second edition D&D game, and it's going. Starting in second edition and rising up to 5, we've talked about many times on other shows and episodes and things, and then jumping back to 2E, it's so wild because there was so much. It was so limiting, but yet more open, because it was like, here's your spell, it does a thing, and you can think of 1,000 things that spell does.
Cool.
If you have the right DM, then cool, and then you get in the 5th edition where it's all. It's 5th edition is a game that tells a story, and the narrative is there and it's strong. It's not a tactical fighting game with a story element to it, like Pathfinder or other games. So it's really interesting seeing it today, because so many people are like, well, I'd never go back and play those games because they're so restrictive, and they're not, because literally like a level 5 wizard spell, it has the name of the spell and then one sentence of what it does. So go with that, take off with it and run. I have that on Saturdays. Every other Thursday, I have Pathfinder Society doing Pathfinder 2. Every other Thursday, I can't tell you what I do on every other Thursday.
It's this.
It's the CIA secret stuff with the raspberry tin job.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know who let you in. Tuesday nights, I'm doing a long-running. Yes. Tuesday nights, I'm doing a long-running Pathfinder campaign. Wednesdays, I was doing the Dungeons and Dragons League, the DDAL, but I was doing it in the long form. I was doing the hard books, and me and a buddy of mine were taking turns. He would run one, and then the next season I'd run one, and et cetera. In fact, that's how I met Ash. Was going back a few years. I was looking for some way to play D&D, and everyone was so busy all the time. I was like, well, I'm finally going to go on a Wednesday night and check out the league, and jumped into it. And then, of course, when I started playing, all my friends I've been trying to get playing for a while started showing up and coming with us, so we just basically took over a table. I've got games every other Sunday, every other Saturday, every other Friday. When the stars align and it's one of those weeks that has like 5 Tuesdays in it, I have a game like every night of the week. But it's something different every time, so that way there's no burnout. That's why you'll often hear me say, I'm sorry, wrong system, I'm forgetting the rules. Can I cast fire? Can Zonimus cast Fireball by shooting his gun? No. One day, Sneaky Coyote will let that happen.
I still want to convince Ash to let me cast flaming arrows on bullets.
Yes.
And Zonimus is now bulletless. You cast continual flame on his bracers that shoots daggers.
Oh,
we'll bend that rule. So we can't talk about Red Dirt too much because we don't want to give spoilers. R.I.P. Poppy. Yeah, you talked over that. That's an R.I.P. Poppy. It's a joke. Poppy's alive and well, saving our lives. Yeah.
I had a friend who was listening to the episode with the big fight in it, and it was
Wait, which one? Which big fight?
The big Johnny and Poppy and Kiri fight. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one that Johnny and I hate. I still get, they say it's like, you're trying to sleep and then you get that memory of that one weird thing you said in 3rd grade. This is that for me now. I just think that. Anyway, he was listening to it and he's like, I can't tell if Kiri's mad or if Poppy's mad. And I said, valid.
I've heard a lot of interesting feedback from that episode. I have yet to listen to it. I'm sorry.
It was good.
You still haven't listened to it.
No,
but just listen. We finished. I was like, just wait. The conflict will resolve itself in a way. And he didn't get back to me for like an hour, and I was like, you should have finished the episode by now. He would have said something. So I texted him. I said, did you finish the episode? He said, no, I had to stop. And I was like, okay, let me know. And then he texted me back later that night. He says, Fireball does stop, and
So one of the folks that listens that I know texts me things, and this is a little bit of a spoiler for anybody who doesn't know the fight that we're talking about or the episode right after it. So in a minute, I'll give a thumbs up and you can turn the sound back up. But
just leave the sound on and claim plausible deniability. Let's just spoil it all.
Here it comes. They text me right after that episode with the Zonimus and Kiri argument, and they said, I'm really getting like the Ring of Sauron vibes out of this thing. Like there's something going on, and I was like. And they were exactly right.
Yes, they were 100% correct.
So, woohoo!
I have a question real fast. I have to break for a minute. Do we have a celebrity in our chat room?
We might have a celebrity in our chat room.
Northern Okie? Is that who I think it is?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kestrel. Kestrel's a celebrity. Kestrel's a celebrity.
Of course.
They have another name too, and so woo!
Right, yes.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
We're excited that they're back. So, one of our first shout-outs ever was to Kestrel Zambonolo. Woo!
Oh, right, that's it. I remember seeing that now.
Yeah,
I was trying to place that.
Because I've been saying Zambono, LOL.
It's because you're a huge hockey fan.
It's because you're modern and hip, and I'm an old man.
It's like Zamboni, lol.
Right.
No.
It's because you can say all those Irish Gaelic names in mythology class.
No, that looks more... Zambo,
lol.
I'm sorry, bless your heart. You're just trying real hard out there, and we're just butchering.
All right, everyone. This is Plausible Deniability. Welcome to the show every other Thursday night. Who knows what we're going to do? We're talking about everything. Right now we're going to play a game called What's in the Cup.
Okay.
Brooke, what's in your cup?
Well, actually, you know what? That's awesome because I was going to talk.
I'm just going to mute him. Kiri, what's in your cup?
Just water.
I'm going to mute Kiri. All right.
And so I have two. I have my classic.
Oh, fantastic.
Mountain Dew. Right
good call.
Here. But haven't opened it yet. But this is... Oh, come on. Screenshot. This is Cock and Bull. It is a ginger beer, like a ginger soft drink.
Oh, yeah.
And just by itself, it's absolutely fantastic.
Is it local?
You got to kind of be in the mood for it. I don't know if it's local or not, but it's like all cane sugar.
Okay.
And let me see. It's the CB Beverage Corporation. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm doing Anthem Brewing, which is local, and they're fantastic. And I'm not digging for sponsorship, but it goes down easy with D&D character sheet. Kiri, I know Zonimus is always trying to get Poppy to take shots of whiskey, or was. Is Kiri a big drinker?
I'm not, actually.
Yeah?
Let's see how to put this. I'm I'm a very picky eater, and so I don't like the way a lot of things taste.
I completely understand. When I was in high school, everyone was drinking, and I could not stand the taste of anything. It wasn't until I was like 25 that I really dove in.
I will do some nice, like it's got to be mid to high shelf whiskey, usually with some ice, or my partner makes some very good Moscow Mule, speaking of ginger beer.
Right.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing is, like, I understand completely what Johnny is saying. I've never liked the taste of beer. I know it's terrible. But I was drinking ciders before ciders were ever cool because it's one of the only things that I like. I do enjoy, you know, some harder things and cocktails and stuff like that, but you can't have a bunch of those, you know.
No. I'm also like a super lightweight. I'm only allowed 2 drinks in public, and after that 2, I can't drive. So I never drink and play.
So I worked at bars for several years, oddly hosting like live trivia shows, or you know, emceeing for bands or DJs or whatever. Never behind the bar, but yeah, I got to a point where I was like, you hear a lot of stories. Like, so a regular stopped showing up for a while, and it's like, oh, they got pulled over after they left the bar one night, and even though they were like great, they failed the breathalyzer or something, and so they can't drive for the rest of their life now. And I just decided that I had my first back to the table game session because everything has been online recently, and I was like, well, I'm going to take an Uber because we're going to smoke a bunch of meats, play, and drink all throughout the day from, you know, noon to midnight. And it kind of blew everyone's mind, like, that's really smart and really weird that you're a grown man. Why are you doing this? I'm like, well, because I want to drive the next day, you know. Yeah, that was actually, look at you being responsible, was something that came up. But that's
well,
cool.
You guys are just also like, and you know, loop Mike into that too. Like, you're all just dads hanging out with your kids and stuff. And I spent like 30 minutes yelling for my cat this morning because I couldn't find her, and I was worried. And I was like, I have things to do. I have places to go, polar bear.
So
really, she's hiding in my closet.
In a way, sometimes I can't find my children either, and I'm like, Bob!
I mean, sometimes I can't get my daughter's attention, but if I cook food, she'll smell it and like wake up and come to. It's kind of like you open the cat food and the cat comes running. It's not really different here. You're not really. It's fine. Hey,
I did get my first nephew on the 5th of June. He's brand new. I love him so much. I haven't gotten to meet him yet.
Oh.
But it is imminent, and I'm really excited.
Well, I expect pictures soon.
I'll show you guys. I have them. I'll show you guys when we record.
Well,
we left recording because the last time we recorded was on the 5th. We left recording. I went to my regular game that night as well, and then like on Monday, my sister texted me and she said, "You have a nephew."
Right.
And sent me a picture.
Now, didn't they, and this may be, like, you know, you can say, I'll answer that later if you want to.
I know where you're going.
Didn't they do something kind of sneaky and not for a few days?
I mean, no.
I think you tweeted that or something.
I thought they kind of, like, kept it secret for a couple of days.
It was like
he was born on the 5th, but she didn't tell me till, like, Tuesday.
So everybody wouldn't rush to the hospital and crowd them and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who do that.
Well, it was also, like, they like called her and they're like, we misjudged something. We need you to give birth. So it was kind of a last minute.
Can you just push or squeeze or whatever it is you do and make this happen?
Was it like a good omens type of we've misjudged something? Whoa. I mean,
I don't know. I don't.
You don't know that reference. That's okay.
Brooke,
what's
going on?
Neil Gaiman.
What's going on in Twitch chat?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
We were talking about flavored whiskey. like the peanut butter stuff is new. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever had peanut butter whiskey? You had, because you don't do whiskey that much.
I do
top
regular
shelf.
whiskey.
So you said top shelf whiskey. There is some cheap peanut butter whiskey where the bottle looks like a bag of peanuts from a circus. Aw, remember when we all went to the carnival together and there were orcs and stuff? Aw. Anyway.
We have the anniversary party coming up at some point. I keep pushing for one. I don't know what's going to happen.
No.
Well, there's a top shelf whiskey that has the peanut butter taste in it, and
no.
One of the most dangerous things I think I've ever tasted has been cherry vanilla vodka, like by Absolute. I took a sip of that and I was like, nope, we are done, because if I have another one of those, I will have the whole bottle. It was absolutely delicious, and I just, it's just not my thing. I think
strawberry schnapps.
Oh.
It got me.
Terrible bad memory of strawberry schnapps.
Oh, can we talk about D&D stuff?
We're gonna talk about D&D. So rumor mill going on. We were talking about everybody playing online and stuff earlier. I don't know. It's a weird deep cut rumor, and I'm not saying it's happening. Plausible deniability that Dungeons and or Dragons and possibly Wizards of the Coast / Hasbro is coming up with their own D&D exclusive virtual tabletop.
What do you
mean? So like Roll20, Fantasy
like
Grounds,
Gotcha.
Tokens, maps.
That makes sense for them.
Yeah. They have said nothing, but apparently a survey went out recently, and I don't know if you guys have ever gotten a survey from Wizards for D&D.
I think I did this.
They're not the same. Like your survey is going to be different from my survey. It's going to be different from Kiri's survey.
Really?
Not sure what the differences are and why they decided to give one to me, one to you, etc. But somewhere in one of the surveys, a lot of people got together and got to talking and comments on Twitter and comments on some YouTube videos about it, and it's almost like there's a path going toward what would you do if we made one? Would that interest you? Would you play it? Would you leave the one you're on and you've invested money in to come to this one?
Right.
Yeah, so it'd be really interesting, especially if they incorporated D&D Beyond into it, because so many people I have a hard copy of the Player's Guide. Now I have the D&D Beyond copy of the Player's Guide. Now I have to buy a virtual tabletop copy of the Player's Guide. So if they could become partners with them, that would be really great and amazing if that happened. So do either of you do a lot of online, the virtual tabletops?
I've only ever been in person. My regular Saturday night group did we did one virtual session, and then we broke because we'll take a month or two off around the holidays. We broke for the holidays, and I don't remember exactly how it happened. But we did one session online. We were like, this is dumb. Everybody just self-monitor. And so, because we're not playing at a game store, we're just playing at my buddy's house. And so we've been really great. We haven't had to I had to sit out a game because Dakota tested positive. He got COVID, and so then I was quarantined. But we pretty much played uninterrupted. We've had more. Listen, Steven misses more often for barn fever, barn colds, whatever he gets, than anything else. He's a farmer in Wellston, and so sometimes.
I grew up on the farm, and I don't think I've ever heard barn fever in my...
No, it's a thing. It's when you don't wear a mask and you're doing a lot of cleaning up after animals, and you inhale some bacteria. It's just a little cold, and you'll get over it in a day, but you feel real bad.
I'm at the part of my night where I am getting my work text message. I explained this earlier for those of you who weren't here. I am always on call, so I'm actually helping someone who's long story short, I'm going to mute for a second, and these two fabulous people, you're in their capable hands. Kestrel, don't go anywhere, because I'm about to seriously drop a huge bomb of what plausible deniability is all about, and Kestrel needs to be present for this.
That's right.
So I'm going to mute myself, and you two keep rocking.
Plus we can practice saying Zombono. Lol. We'll get it right. I think that's in the chat. I think I saw that's how it's supposed to be. Kiri, I had the exact opposite kind of thing with my gaming group in that I've got a couple people who are not direct medical folks, but they're connected to the medical field, and so they absolutely, positively could not have any risk whatsoever. So COVID hit, the Pathfinder game, we basically shut down, and then we said, well, hey, let's try Zoom, and see what happens. And we do enough theater of the mind anyway that we made it work. But then we thought, well, let's try Roll20. One of our guys is in another group that has used Roll20 before, and so we're like, well, let's try Roll20. So we did, and it works. We're getting a lot better at it. But because that Pathfinder group on Zoom works so well, one of my other buddies said, well, hey, who lives out of town, was like, hey, I'd love to run a 5e game if you want to be a character, if you want to play in it. I'm like, yes. And so now, because of the shutdown, I've probably played more D&D than I've had ever before. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I actually was looking for like a week game, like during the week, and I found one just like on a Discord server somewhere, and they're like, yeah, come in. I just did a quick paladin build, didn't put too much thought into it, and I get into playing, and it's about 5 minutes into playing that I realize I'm playing with a bunch of like 15-year-old boys who are already shocked that I'm a girl. So I did not tell them how old I was. Because they're very clearly like 14, 15. They cannot be a day over 15. And so they're just having so much fun, like punching stuff and like action stars. Yeah. And I'm trying to like tactically play and stuff like this. I feel weird RPing with these like babies, and at the end of it, I texted the GM, and I was like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work out. I'm 28, and left. That was, like, I mean, I'm 30 this summer, so that was a while ago.
As you said that, I was like, I don't think that's your real age either.
No, this was a while ago. But yeah, I'm turning, Ash and I are both turning 30 this year, I think. Or maybe Ash is turning 29 and I'm turning 30. I can't remember if they're younger than I am, but
that's amazing.
Our birthdays are both in August.
That's the thing that I am often just amazed by, is like your story where you said, hey, I saw it on, which one was it? Dungeons and Daddies? No, Community.
College Humor.
Humor.
Dimension 20.
Yeah, and the fact that you went out and like found a group. How did you find people? Like, I know you mentioned that the first couple you kind of had to find the vibe for, but I mean,
so I found a couple of Oklahoma D&D groups on Facebook, and kind of put in there like, hey, looking for a game, or somebody would post on there, hey, we're looking for players, and I would like post in there. The group that I ended up going with for more than a while, so what I did with both groups is I essentially said, hey, I'm not going to build a character yet, I just want to come sit in and kind of see the vibe of your group, and just kind of hang out with you guys, if that's cool. Yeah. And so then that's what I did. My first group was also a little bit younger than me, and that's why I don't think I stuck with them, because I was in, my mid to late 20s, and they were like 20.
Gotcha.
And I was like, we just like have different wants, needs, and desires. It's just not my vibe. Good luck to you guys. And so then I went to this other group, and they're all about you guys' age, actually. I think Trent and I are the youngest, and we are, his birthday's in July, and mine's in August. We're both turning 30 this year, and everybody else is 40 plus.
Woohoo! Yeah. So. I'm just amazed, again, by the number of
quote-unquote young people that are in the game. Like, it just makes it fun.
Last time, on 2 weeks ago's episode, Johnny and I talked about, I talked a little bit about the D&D club that I kind of helped start at Putnam City North, and how, like, incredibly successful that was, and I was just blown away. I couldn't believe how many people were interested in it, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I have a group of boys that we have, at my school, have an extended lunch period, so our lunches are an hour long, and that's when all the club meetings happen. It's because we're so rural, and so a lot of kids ride the bus home. They can't stay after school for the student council meeting, so they have the student council meeting during power hour, right? Yeah. It's also tutoring, or you need to drop this off with this coach, or you need to drop this off to this office. They're running around errand time, But anyway, I have a group of boys that played in my room like all year long, and sometimes they would play and they would switch DMs every now and then, and they got, sometimes the group would get big and sometimes it'd get real small. Sometimes I wouldn't be playing a game and it would just be one of them saying, okay, we're building Jesus if he were a D&D character. What class would he be? Clearly he's a monk with a carpenter background. Or one of them was like, let's see how can we break the game and make the fastest character we possibly can. And so they broke the game and they made a character that could go like 500 feet in a round or something like that. And so they did the math. It was like 200 miles an hour. I was like, the body can't do that, guy. It would like implode. But yeah, they're always building new characters and stuff like that. But
that's fantastic.
But yeah, and they listen to, some of them listen to the podcast. And then I have a couple students that listen to it because they thought they could hear me curse, and I was like, haha, joke's on you. Red Dirt's PG.
That's right. Which we have done amazingly
let me look at that picture one more time.
And in 50 episodes of recording, I think there's one time.
I say ass, so you can hear me say ass pretty loudly. But I think
so. It says Netgear on the sticker on the top of it. Does it have a
word or something like
brand
that?
word on
it?
And
then there was one time where I said the F.
Nighthawk. It's down. I zoomed in down the bottom, really small. It says Nighthawk.
Far away from the microphone, so Mike was able to cover it with
exactly the moment I'm talking about, and it was just.
No, I got it. That's it. It's a Netgear Nighthawk. I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
It was.
So, all right, yeah, we'll get it. Yeah, we can get this taken care of easily. Our AT&T guy could put them on the same plan that SIM card I gave you was on, so that'll work.
I teach middle school. My freshmen do like the first time.
No, we can still use the. He should be able to still do it on the same card. It's fine. Yeah.
And I was like, you guys, I listened to you.
But I had to know the card number in order to do it.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, thanks, Junior. Bye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, so are you...
Okay, I'm done with my call and my work stuff. And I had you all on mute, but I was listening to you, and I didn't understand a word either of you said.
It was all Tactless Crow's fault. I just want to say they distracted me in the chat.
Yeah. So, plausible deniability, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Are we going to talk about my thing?
We're going to talk about...
on the show?
We are absolutely going to talk about your thing on the show. Stick around for that. We have a thing coming up Saturday, but we're not talking. We're not 100% talking about it just yet.
We're not going to talk about it.
I'm just keeping an eye on the clock. Is all.
We're not going to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Plausible deniability. Zumbololo.
What?
I don't know how they got here. They must have hacked the system. I deny everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Zumbolo, no. Just do this. Just say Zumbolo and do that.
Shout-outs ever.
There we go.
There we go. Plausible deniability. All right. So, hello.
Hey, how did you find out about the show? Like when you started listening, because you're one of the first people I know beside a really tight circle.
Yeah.
Maybe you're in someone's tight circle, but how did you find out about the show?
I was just scrolling through a bunch of NPR podcasts on the NPR page, and I just found it. I'm like, wait, there's a D&D group that's broadcasting on National Public Radio. I'm like, I have to get in on this.
Michael Cross for the win.
Michael Cross for the win on the NPR stuff right there.
That's fantastic.
All right.
Because as far as I knew, nobody kind of knew you, right? And so I was just like, okay, so boom, from the get-go. That's exciting. That's very exciting.
When this all started, anyone who was, any patrons, anyone responding to us on Facebook or Twitter, everything, it was always, who is that? Does someone know who that is? Is that your cousin? Is that your brother? Is that your next-door neighbor's uncle? And then it was like, oh, wow, people, where are you, if you don't mind? Where in the world are you?
I'm in just outside Nashville. It's a place called Brentwood, Tennessee.
Oh, you've got great live music and amazing beer. That is fantastic.
I think we've actually talked about the like where I came from, like when I first joined the thing, everyone was like, "Oh my God, who is this?"
Oh, right.
Oh, he's from Nashville. So we've already had this conversation.
It's like people. Fantastic. All right.
The question has been, what other RPG games have you played? So, have you played others? I'm assuming you play some version of D&D.
I play D&D, or at least I have played. It was a weird point in my life, let's just say that. And I've been anxious to get back into it as a DM, but
it is a weird point.
Sometimes you grow out of it and then come back. It's weird.
Yeah. But Pathfinder was one that I really enjoyed while I had some good people to play it with, and then it just became, trying to set up a game for it was just so daunting because I had never set up anything before.
Oh.
I had to drop it.
Yes.
And then there was a few people who got me into various kinds of games. Like there was one that was basically mech combat, but in a tabletop RPG setting.
Okay.
I love BattleTech. Used to play some BattleTech in the old school days.
Mech Warrior. So if you're talking about Pathfinder, Paizo announced at PaizoCon a few weeks ago that Starfinder next year is getting mechs. So your character can get a mech suit to wear, and then you can fight kaiju.
Yeah, I think someone also got me into Starfinder 2, but it's not 2 as in the decimal number. 2 as in TOO.
Also.
Have to be careful with those.
Right.
But
decimals are important.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Lost contact with a lot of those people.
Right. So.
That's so cool.
We asked earlier about virtual tabletops, and you kind of chimed in on that on the Twitch channel. Would you see a benefit in a D&D only run by D&D virtual tabletop to play on?
I mean, since they have D&D Beyond, it would make integration so much all the more easy. So,
yeah.
But the thing is, once they have that, everyone else is probably going to get shafted for that.
Yeah,
that's what I foresee with it. So I don't see it as a very good thing.
Yeah. Okay, we're doing this all wrong. I'm going to deny. I'm denying everything that just happened, and we're going to do this. Ritter, D&D's biggest fan, favorite episode. Go.
Ooh. I think it's the first few that I actually love the most. I still need to get a bit deeper, but just like you set the stage so well, and it's just really enthralling.
Oh, so you flatter me.
And you have this here live, and we're going to look you in the eye, aka camera lens, and tell you, not scripted.
It's true.
Ash is so amazing at not, and you can say Ash is amazing at writing, but you can write something and someone can't jump into it. Ash, they write in such a way that you can interject yourself into it, and a flow is created where you still get to the points that they want to get to, without completely just, steamrolling it and everything. And that was so prominent in the beginning. Yes.
Not just improvisation, just really good improvisation.
You have to. I'm going to pat all of us on the back. It is a lot of improv skill, but you also have to be able to write those. To write into
the baseline.
Exactly. Yes.
You have to know your world so well that you can't improv.
Yes. So there's writing for tabletop where it's like, I'm just going to kind of railroad you and give you a sandbox once in a while, and then there's...
Okay, way to hit at my heart, okay?
And then, no. I don't feel like...
I once had
never felt
someone
that way,
who told
Kiri.
the entire party with a single random encounter, and we were like a good few months into it, and I had just left, so everyone was so ticked off, and they actually changed DMs and had like the same people. And
have you watched any of our fantastic America's Favorite Kiri running our holiday specials live yet, or caught them on YouTube?
I need to. It's on my bucket list now that
I'm going to go ahead and mute David real fast. No, it's okay. We have one coming up Saturday.
Yes.
I'd love to see that.
Tell us about it, Kiri.
Saturday at noon Central Time.
And it's about the 4th of July, right? How elves founded America.
It's not the 4th of July. It's midsummer.
It is midsummer. Is there a bear and flowers and a... I mean, that was a scary movie. Midsummer was a scary movie. Is it anything like that?
Listen, I recently watched that movie.
Oh, no.
Like a month and maybe it was spring break or something. And I'm watching the movie and I'm like, this is just very confusing. And then it ends and I'm like, is no one gonna say anything? Okay. I guess.
The scary part about that movie is that most of the terrifying stuff happens in broad daylight, which just really makes it weird.
Yeah. It wasn't, I don't feel like it wasn't scary. It was chilling.
Yeah.
I think is a better adjective.
It was, yeah.
It was, skeevy, for sure.
For sure. Hey, everybody out there in Twitch land, can you hear Kestrel? Can you hear Dave talking? I'm sure you can, or you would have already said something about it. So I didn't even think about OBS and what it does.
Yeah,
fantastic. So, more plausible deniability. I'm going to drop the Zoom link into a very secret location on Discord.
Oh, no.
Well, I don't know what we're doing. I have no idea what's going on right now. But
we've been hacked.
We've been hacked. I blame there's a coyote who walked by earlier. And so, if any of you in our, if you're able, those of you who are in the know, to jump in on this.
If we're going to talk about...
I'm not going to say any names, but it rhymes with Michael Cross.
I don't think he's here.
Tactless Crow is exactly right. We have been left unsupervised, and it will probably never happen again. So get your chance now, boys and girls.
But Midsummer is coming up, like I said, on Saturday. And the coolest thing about this upcoming holiday special episode is that I have finally figured out the overarching plot. So I wasn't writing a big plot. I was just like making it very episodic. I wasn't sure how many of these we were going to do. And I kind of was thinking about it, thinking things through, and I've come up with a big plot. So that's a good thing. So we'll get some some lore dropped in. We'll get some hooks dropped in and that kind of stuff. But the big idea, or the plug, the one sentence teaser trailer, is that the physician needs a favor from Titania, which means that the party has to go to the Feywild to win her midsummer tournament. So it's going to be fun, I think.
I want to entice David to come join us and anyone else who's paying attention. So I need you, Kiri, I need your help on this. So
I'll try my best. I'm not
spoiler free, but here's where we're going. We have Zonimus, Makran, and Poppy right now.
Yeah.
However, we're not this and those. I am playing an Aasimar cleric.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Brooke is a Cockney rogue.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just where we're going.
Halfling barbarian.
Halfling barbarian / rogue, right?
/ rogue, yeah.
Barbarian, right?
Kiri is the dungeon master.
I am.
First time DMing for Kiri was on the internet. And she was nervous, and we're like, why? It's the internet. Everyone there's cool and polite and pleasant. No one's mean on the internet.
Your innocence is laughable.
Dummy. So, and she fell for it and did it, and it was great, and it was a success. So far, we started at 7th level?
Yeah.
In the first one? And what was the first one? Did we save Christmas?
Yes.
I mean,
it was
we didn't save Christmas. We all died. Sorry for the spoiler.
It was the Christmas Carol. It was
And
Christmas.
then we moved on to...
Valentine's Day.
And we all
You were
died in
level
that one.
8. And now you guys are level 9 for Midsummer.
Yes.
I wonder how it's gonna end.
We're all going to die.
We'll probably
They're all
die.
going to be in a hut that we set on fire.
I'll be stuck with a bear somewhere.
And you've really brought with it some of the mythological flavors of some things. You know, obviously we have all of the things we can do with Christmas. And Ash, they brought in a Krampus-sponsored, a Krampus patron warlock, which that is amazing.
I love Isa.
It is so awesome to be on the same side of the table of the DM screen with Ash. It's just so much fun to see them just cut loose as a PC. It's
My
just
favorite
great.
thing is that I know that all of you guys know a lot about D&D, but I also know that you're trying very hard to not think too hard about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're not trying to
the maximizers.
Yeah,
No
you're not
maximizers.
trying to like, oh, obviously this is a lich situation. Like, you're not, yeah.
I like to comment because we die at the end of every one of these, which we don't. We're just a party of constantly revived scarecrows.
That's from Tactless Crow.
I will say, what I've learned about my DM style
Won't say anyone who got that.
is interesting, is that I have found that I'm a very puzzle-heavy combat light. I don't like a lot of fights. Now, let me tell you, Christmas Carol was written for me, right? That was a thing that I got from Verge Games. I wrote Valentine's Day completely by myself. This time I got something from... I took an adventure from Adventure Lookup that took it from the Dungeon Master magazine thing. You know what I'm talking about? I don't remember what it's called. It's not a magazine anymore.
Is it really old, like Dungeon Magazine or Dragon Magazine?
Magazine.
It's on the internet now. But
What's the internet?
But it's... Anyway, I took a Feywild adventure from there, and then I was like, that kind of got me what you guys are doing in the Feywild, but then I was like, okay, how do they get to the Feywild? I need the hook there, and then I also came up with that big plot. The really interesting thing to remember as well is that Michael's character, Elisard, is from the Feywild. His parents live there, so that'll come up, I'm sure.
Plausible deniability. We have a plausible deniability moment, Brooke.
I like it.
I'm going to kick Kiri out of the chat real fast. Let me see where that click is. Okay, she's gone. So, David, pick one of these three things to give us for Saturday's live stream. Is it advantage on the first roll of every combat encounter? Is it?
First roll will be initiative, so I don't think I'm going to do that.
No, well, the first combat roll, like to hit. Or is it one character, only one, can use, only one time, a burst area effect heal for 3d10 that doesn't impact any NPCs or monsters? Or option 3, I play it sober. Go.
I don't think I want to make you play sober, so let's go.
Which means you have to play differently than you normally do now, Johnny. You have to play normally.
Can I change any of them in the
Yes, you absolutely can.
No.
You absolutely can. You can make up your own plausible deniability.
No.
So, Kiri, here's the part of plausible
there's
deniability. If it never happens, you can deny that it was supposed to
Kill
happen.
one NPC.
What?
Burst healing. You kill one random NPC in the story.
What if it's
that
the
you've already
main boss?
No.
That's I don't know. Plausible deniability.
No. Here's Here's the thing.
Okay,
We just talked about the fact that I am
Spoilers.
light. I don't think there's any combat in this unless you guys go picking fights.
Well, now they have a way to kill.
Let's do the advantage then. I'm going to use advantage on wisdom roll to solve these puzzles.
Amen to that. A Thunderwave cantrip, says Tactless Scrow.
Why did you say Thunderwave? Why did you have to say Thunderwave? Why?
They aren't polite.
Why did you go to Thunderwave?
Okay, how about one character knows... What is there an equivalent for clairvoyance or like
Argerary
or whatever in 5e?
Yes, and no one likes it.
Is a thing.
Yeah. No one likes it, just like in Pathfinder. No one likes it.
Yeah, it's not super helpful, but it exists.
No Thunderwave cantrip.
No.
The chat wants to kill Johnny.
Just what if there's a comedy routine that you can do where you try to do a tarot reading and someone keeps interrupting you?
What if there's an NPC
and it
named...
causes the healing that kills someone.
What if there's an NPC named Zombololo that sells healing potions at half price?
You know, hi.
And is that the NPC that we get to kill?
Probably.
Kiri is never coming on another episode of Plausible Deniability. Ever.
Again. I found out who the bad cop was. It's Zambono Lo. That's who it is. He's the bad cop.
All right.
I would love that. Just like a few voice lines and then I just die.
Hell, adventurers, death. Yeah, it's not that kind of party. I don't know. Ash is playing a warlock. We'll see. We'll see. No promises because plausible deniability. And I'm not going to say we'll see what we'll do. I'm just going to say Kiri's been listening.
I have.
So you'll have to tune in, and see which one she chooses. I like it.
Saturday. Noon
Central time. It is almost Brooke's bedtime. We're going to jump over here to Twitch.
I can't make it. I have work then.
You're going to have to catch it afterwards.
Catch it afterwards.
Ash, how do they... Ash, I'm so sorry. Kiri, how do they do that? How do they catch it afterwards?
So it's on Twitch for a few days after it airs, and then it pops over to the YouTube.
Sweet.
Okay.
Is it just youtube.com/RedDirtDND?
Probably. You can also just search Red Dirt D&D on YouTube.
Also, I will keep tuned. Stay tuned.
Tune in.
Tune in to stay tuned and keep tuned.
Are you
next time we invite you on the show, don't be drinking.
Are you up to date, David?
No.
Okay. Not yet.
4 or 5 behind, 10 or 12 behind.
Here's the kicker. He's only listened to episodes 1 through 5.
So, when you get up here around the 50s, listen after all the acknowledgments and credits.
Yeah.
Tell him, Brooke.
Because what is it, about episode 46, 45, somewhere right in there?
I wanted to say it was 43.
Maybe as early as we start doing some outtakes, because obviously we want the narrative to flow, but you can tell from this session right now that there are moments when we're like every gaming group and we're just like,
we break out the song, we quote an entire scene from a movie from the 80s, something is happening every time we sit down and record. The episodes are 40 minutes, but we're going for like an hour and 10 because we're just getting into everything.
Yeah. And Michael Cross started dropping... Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Michael Cross started dropping those because they're great. We were talking about a gag reel, just having like, a couple of like 5-minute, 10-minute, episodes that were nothing but the gag reel. And then he just started popping them at the end of the... he talked about it with us. It wasn't a surprise, but he started popping them in at the end of the episode. After all the credits, they're now... I gotta say, they're almost my favorite thing to listen to, because I don't know exactly which ones he's gonna choose.
Mm-hmm. That is always a fun thing.
Yeah.
Because we get to listen to them, obviously, in the drive before they drop, but I do enjoy those. And I like them with the episodes because you have the context so you kind of know what we're talking about. Whereas if they were all just like one reel, you might have lost the context.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what was the significance of 46 in that?
I think it's around. They start. Okay. The first like 45, 40.
Somewhere around the late 40s, we really needed a good laugh. Or something. Catch up. You'll see. Yeah.
So what?
Okay, it has been an hour of doing absolutely nothing. Time wasted. Does anyone in Twitch have anything they want to contribute in the chat before we go, other than giving me the suggestion to maybe move out of the way of thunder waves? But
Let's crow. I love
it. Move, witch.
Yes.
Get out the way.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, the music.
Move.
What if they
get out the way?
Killed someone in the main story?
No.
David, if we ever asked you to come back again, would you?
Probably, yeah.
If I asked you again tomorrow morning when the meds were kicked in, would you give me the same answer?
You're funny.
Yes, tomorrow morning before 10.
Before 10, before the caffeine, before you. Yeah, okay, I got you.
No, I actually work
It's been a pleasure having you on. It's what plausible deniability is all about. You never know what's going to happen. We may have an episode where we don't talk about anything that has anything to do with gaming. It's because I don't know if you guys know this. I'm going to drop a secret here. These two, they're in a biker gang.
It's true.
One shaking their head yes, and one shaking their head no. I love it.
I mean, I haven't gotten to ride like this summer at all because we had some mechanical issues. And then my scooter is currently broken.
You know, if you're not able to ride, you have to give up your colors. You're out of the game.
I don't have those.
Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability. Scooter, can you you have a scooter like all Macklemore style?
No, not that kind of scooter. Like a little Vespa style scooter.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's nicely done.
What do you have, Brooke?
I have a Harley, so it's a Harley Softail.
Is Harley is that a version of a Vespa?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a Vespa, but 20,000 decibels louder.
Oh, I see. Okay. Does it run on Vespa batteries?
That's it. On the tiers of I don't know.
No, what we have to do is we are super excited to get conventions back up and running with the pandemic going down. Hopefully it's going down. Get it under control, people. And I think we should do photo ops with Makrin out at the Harley.
What else would a dwarf ride? You know.
Right?
I mean, tourists, dwarves, it's steel horses. You know.
You gotta commission someone to make a cardboard cutouts too. With
yes.
A little face in the middle.
All right, somebody tell the kobolds get busy making cardboard cutouts.
All right, chat thing, get your shots, people. No, don't kill anyone in the main story. Dibs on cleric. Don't do it. Dibs on cleric.
Was my. I was gonna do the water cleric if I die. You already gotta do a homebrew class.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Johnny Payne.
I'm Kiri Hester.
I'm Brooke Bullock.
And our special guest tonight...
Some random guy from a truck station.
Some random guy from the gas station. I gave him half of my gas station chicken leg, and he said, okay, I'll be on your show. We're not going to see you next week. We're going to see you in 2 weeks on Plausible Deniability. It's been a pleasure. We love you. It's fantastic.
Thanks, guys. It was awesome. Thanks for the chat. Tactless Scrow and other great folks in there. So. And
Saturday at noon?
Saturday at noon. High noon.
Saturday at noon, Midsummer, our very own America's favorite Kiri in the DM chair. Come check it out.
It's going to be fun.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.